Good day, ma'am. I'm Erica Manaloto from AB Econ 2A. 5 best lessons learned this semester and why. These 5 lessons give me some knowledge and explore other world by collecting and analyze data and to deepen the awareness of the current macroeconomics issues. The first one is when we tackle about the difference of gross national product and gross domestic product, the value of goods and services generated within a countries bordered by residents and non-citizens alike, is measured by GDP. The value of goods and services provided by a country inhabitants, both domestically and internationally, is measured by GNP. The most often utilized metric by global economic is GDP. This helped me in my socio-economic life in my learning process to become a great economist someday. I've learned this semester about the 11 indicators that these lessons has taught me in collecting data analysis will give us a snapshot of what we know, what we need to know, and what we can do to achieve our economic goals. It has positive impact on economic student performance by properly analyzing and interpreting results. The third one we learn is when we explore our dream world in how creating a better world starting in ourselves by planning and studying in how improve more the economic status in the world that we want, and to enhance more studying macroeconomics into giving also an ideas to fulfill our dream world. And also we learn in this semester the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of our country and other country. It has given me insight into the key aim of this factor, which was to develop a series of common priorities to aid into the fight of the world's immediate environmental, political, and economic challenges. Lastly, I learned the economic development on how the world works by studying development economics. You will have the opportunity to apply the tools of economic analysis to the problems and challenges facing less developed countries and to begin to understand why some countries have been able to go through a process of economic, and you will know the reason why this country, why their ranking dropped, and then you can still think to how to solve it. Share your insight and most effective strategies. My strategy, this kind of situation, first read the syllabus. The syllabus is a critical resources for any course. It is the roadmap or game plan for the entire course to get to know it well. Print a copy on the first day of class, read through it twice at the same time, highlight, then record the due dates for assignments and threaten discussions in your personal calendar. Time management is a vital for online class students. Planning a regular study time, blocking off set times each week is what successful online students to do most often. These subjects help me to understand and elaborating other data to make sure our understanding is correct by presenting it on virtual class. Lastly, I learned to never give up because I'm not good in analyzing and I'm struggling in my internet connection, but I do my best to pass my work on time. 5 best economic development policies or programs. Number 1, foreign aid is the voluntary movement of money or the resources from one nation to another. The transactions are mostly from developed countries to developing countries. A developing nation typically lacks a strong manufacturing base and is distinguished by low value of Human Development Index. Foreign aid may be offered as a contribution or a loan, which can either be hard or soft loan. If the loan in a foreign currency, it is termed as a hard loan. Foreign aid may require the transfer of professional advice and training or commodities or financial resources. Financial resources can occur in the form of concessional loans or grants such as export credits. Official development assistance is the most common form foreign aid, which is the help provided support development and to fight poverty. The main source of ODA is the bilaterally grants from one country to another country, while some of the funding in the form of loans and often is channeled by non-governmental organizations and foreign organizations. Number 2, development of manufacturing has traditionally played a key role in the economic development of developing countries. In recent years, it has been argued the importance of manufacturing has diminished over the 20 years to 25 years, resulting in premature deodorization or non-industrialization in developing countries. These studies explore whether the low levels of industrialization in developing countries are attributable to long-term change in opportunities available to the sectors around the globe. The study's findings show that the manufacturing sector's values added and employment contribution toward GDP and employment respectively have not changed significantly since 1970. The declining manufacturing value added and manufacturing employment share in many developing countries has not been caused by change into the sector development's potential, but has instead result from a shift of manufacturing activities to a relative small numbers of populations countries, thus resulting in a concentration of manufacturing activities in specific developing countries. Public investment, the next new thing for powering economic growth. America's stock of human and physical capital, public and private, can be thought of the most tangible representation of the nation's wealth. It's largely what allows the U.S. workforce to produce more per hour work than most of the rest of the world, and is the most valuable economic legacy we pass on the most future generations. Public investments by federal, state, and local governments build the nation's capital stock by devoting resources to the basic physical infrastructure such as the roads, bridges, rail lines, airports, and water distribution, innovative activity, basic research, green investment, clean power resources, and weatherization, and the education, both primary and advanced, as well as job training that leads to higher productivity and or higher living standards, while private sectors also invest in these areas, this to do so much smaller degree, in parts because the gains from public investment occur not just to those undertaking the investment but a wide range of people and businesses. Number 4, macroeconomic stability would involve a commitment to low inflation. Low inflation creates a climate where foreign investors have more confidence to invest in that country. High inflation can lead to devaluation of the currency and discourage foreign investment. To create a low inflationary framework, it requires effective monetary policies, disciplines, and fiscal. Number 5, effective tax structure and tax collection. One of the most challenges developing economies often face is no effective tax and collect what they are supposed to do. If the government is unable to collect sufficient tax from the richest aspect of the economy, production of natural resources, there will be a little funds to finance necessary public sector investment in services with a high social benefit. For example, the average tax in sub-Saharan Africa is only 15% of GDP compared to average of 40% of GDP in the developing world. I measure my learning about the effects of engagement to my organization and the community. We do first by promoting SDG in my own way, find unique and entertaining methods to communicate your words, and allow others to join and discuss why it is important to promote SDG in the words and the impact of this to the people made by vulnerable by conflict are being bypassed by global progress. Unless we learn how to achieve the targets in conflict settings, the benefits of SDGs will not reach many of people who need them most.